right, guys, I'm DJ Dreamer, or as known as Kat Garrison, and I'm here with the wonderful Olivia Brown.
Hello, everyone.
So, are you excited about today's show?
Oh, definitely. I've been looking forward to this ever since I brought the idea to Kpoetradio, and I'm just excited to perform. I love performing. I love standing in front of people and making them laugh, and I'm just very excited.
Definitely. So I wanted to ask you a quick icebreaker, that way we get to know each other real quick.
All right.
So what's your favorite word?
Oh, this is actually a great question. Oh, what is my favorite word?
I know, it's a doozy of a question.
A doozy. I like that word. Damn, I don't know what my favorite word is. Maybe... Well, a lot of people don't like the word moist, but I find it soothing.
Oh, God.
Moist. It just rolls off the lips. Moist. Right?
Oh, great. Yeah, it's a wonderful word.
I don't know. I like all those words that make other people feel uncomfortable. I think they're funny. So I don't really have a favorite one, but there are certain ones for sure that I really like.
Well, that's my least favorite word, to say the least.
Moist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. But going off of that, we'll start off with the first question, which is, what drove you to start performing stand-up comedy? Like, how did it all start? Like, what was the beginnings of Olivia Brown?
The beginning of Olivia Brown. Wow.
Not from birth, but
no,
like...
yeah. Olivia Brown, the performer. Yes. Well, I have a twin brother, and he was always into theater and the performing arts, and I was more into sports. And but my brother was more out there than I was, and like he was also like more popular and stuff. I never really had the confidence to get out in front of people and talk, and or like I always knew, like I would always be getting on my report cards when I was little. I would always get this thing called a 22, and that's talking excessively.
Oh man.
But like my whole life I've been told that talking excessively and just saying what's on your mind and stuff, or like do like what I do, like people kind of looked at it in a negative way. But then at the end of high school I got senior class funniest, and that gave me a little confidence, and I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to do something. I want to make people laugh. I want to do something to make people laugh, because that, like, I realized that is what I want to do, and that is what I feel good and like happy doing. So I started taking acting classes because I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be an actor. And then through acting classes, I met my friend. His name's Orlando Leyba. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has an HBO special.
Oh wow.
And he connected me to this producer who produces a show called The Virgin Sacrifice.
Oh,
and what
man.
it is it's a time doing comedy, and they're at the end of the show, and then before them are all professional seasoned comedians. And so there was like 4 or 5 comedians that went before me, all professional, and then I went on, and like as soon as I got the first laugh, I felt so comfortable, and I'm like, I belong up here. I feel comfortable. I love this. I've never felt more like, I don't know, it's just kind of like feeling like yourself, you know, feeling like you're you kind of just feel invincible when you're doing something you like, you know?
Definitely, yeah.
And so then I did that show, and the other comedians were like, Olivia, like, you're pretty good. Like, this is good. The producer actually told me, she's like, this is the best material I've seen. So then I did that show, and then I started doing open mics. I haven't really done any other like shows anywhere or anything, but like that was kind of like the start, and that just gave me the confidence. After I did that show, I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do this. Yeah.
Well, you have your own show now. That's amazing, right?
I know. I'm very, very excited.
We're expecting a lot of people. We're even bringing out a bunch of extra stuff, some upcoming performers too. But, you know, like, you're the main attraction. Like, how does that make you feel? that you're like the center of attention.
Yeah. It makes me feel good because I've never really had something like this because, again, I am a twin, so I've always kind of been like in a shadow. Or I've kind of always been, I don't know, like even on my birthday, it's never just been about me. I've always shared everything I've done with someone else, graduation, everything. So the fact that I have like my own thing, like it just makes me feel good. And the fact that people are actually wanting to come to see me when I told people about it, they're like, yes, let's do it. Like, let's make it happen. I'm like, fuck, all right, sorry. Can I cuss? No?
It's PG-13, so
PG-13.
you've used your first one.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's, yeah.
All right. So our next question is, what's your definition of funny? And who would you describe as genuinely funny?
So kind of to go off of my definition of funny, I mean, like, so I'm going to name some celebrities, some like comedians that I like, and I'm going to tell you why I think they're funny. So that's technically my definition. Can I do it that way?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. So I love Chelsea Handler. She is my idol. I love her. She's awesome. And she's funny because she can make anything funny. She doesn't have to make fun of other people. She doesn't just talk about her body. She, like a lot of female comedians, just talk about their bodies or, I don't know. I just feel like it's, to be funny, you have to be able to make, my definition of funny is someone that can make the darker things light. Someone that could turn those everyday things into something that's funny. Because not everyone could do that. And not everyone is, like, being funny is a talent, and I think it's something that you're born with, because you can't really teach someone how to be funny. You could teach someone how to recite lines, you could teach someone how to say jokes, but you can't really teach someone how to be, like, genuinely funny, you know?
Definitely.
So, just to be funny, or I just feel it's like people that make, that just take everyday, ordinary things and then could just make people laugh about them.
Wow, and you know it, you're completely right, and then it makes everything so much more relatable, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't, especially, like, when you have to think about, like, the audience you're going up for, like, do something that everyone can relate with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do something that the men and women in the crowd could relate with, not just something that the women in the crowd could relate with. Yes, I do talk about tampons and stuff for the girls, but I do talk about stuff for the guys, and by stuff I mean my body. That is for the guys.
So
when I talk about my body, just know it's for the boys.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Definitely. So our last question coming up is, what process do you use to develop your stand-up comedy material? Like, where does all of this generate from? It doesn't just come from the air, or does it?
It kind of does just come from the air.
Oh.
Actually. I just grab it with my net.
Okay.
No, when I write comedy, so what I do is, in everyday life, if something happens to me that I think something happens to me and I'm going to like repeat it to someone else, then I know it has some type of material, like it has some type of value, because I'm like, okay, I want to say this to someone else. Okay, so I write down things that happen in my everyday life, like quotes my friends say, quotes I say, just like random situations that happen. So what I do is so those are my notes, and then I sit down with like either a pen and paper or like my laptop, and I just type out the notes, and then I just type out the stories that go along with it. Then what I do is I cut out all the unnecessary stuff, get right to the point, and you know, you have to try to think of, like, eventually, like, there is the joke of it. There is a reason why you're telling the story. So you want to get to that point fairly quickly, because you don't want to lose the audience's interest. And then you have to, then you kind of have to just, like make it your own, you know? Like, there are going to be things on stage that I'm going to talk about that I am just going to probably say for the first time on stage. Like, just stuff like improv and stuff, you know? That, I think that's a really important part of stand-up, because I think it's really good, especially with something like this, or at least what I like to talk about and stuff, I like to involve the audience as much as I can, and a lot of that stuff comes on the spot, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you consider yourself a storyteller, definitely.
Definitely a storyteller.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
there's some people, some comedians, even professional
Yeah,
comedians.
I tell stories.
I know,
Basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen you before. It's amazing. I'm
Thank you.
super excited about this. I know you're really good. You
Yeah.
were even on the Virgin Sacrifice?
The Virgin Sacrifice. Yeah.
A comedy tradition
Yeah,
from what you're
very
telling
cool.
me. And we're about T-minus, I want to say 23 minutes to the show. Come down, bust down with Olivia Brown and friends. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome, and there's also gonna be food. So why not?
Yeah.
Great laughs, great food. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to Kpoetradio. This is Olivia Brown and myself, DJ Dreamer, and we'll get back to you and when we're actually going to be recording the whole entire show for you guys to see. Definitely
Perfect.
some good stuff.
So much fun.
See ya.